Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating zodiac signs, Taurus. Known for their loyalty, practicality, and love of comfort, Taurus definitely has some standout qualities that make them one of the most intriguing signs in the zodiac. But here's the twist, while Taurus might seem steady and reliable, they also have a whole bunch of quirks that can make them seem a little, well, weird. In today's video, we're going to explore the 15 traits that make Taurus one of the most unique signs you'll ever meet. Whether you're a Taurus yourself or you know someone who is, stick around because we're about to uncover some of the qualities that set them apart from the rest. From their deep-rooted stubbornness to their intense need for comfort, there's so much more to this earth sign than meets the eye. They're not just reliable and practical, they're also full of surprises. So, if you've ever wondered what makes a Taurus tick or why they can sometimes be a little hard to figure out, you're in the right place. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll have a whole new perspective on this fascinating sign. Whether you love them or find them a little weird, Taurus is definitely one of a kind. And if you're a Taurus watching this, I'm sure you'll recognize a lot of these traits in yourself. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button if you want more fun zodiac insights. Alright, let's jump into it and explore the 15 reasons why Taurus is so weird. Let's go. 1. They're incredibly stubborn. Taurus is often regarded as one of the most stubborn signs in the zodiac, and honestly, this isn't an exaggeration. When they make up their mind, it's set in stone. Whether it's something as trivial as what restaurant to go to or as significant as a career decision, Taurus will dig in their heels and stand firm. They aren't easily swayed by other people's opinions, and they're not going to change their mind just to avoid conflict. To them, their way is the best way, and they will go to great lengths to defend their choices. This trait can seem frustrating to others, especially those who are more open-minded or willing to adapt. While other signs may be more flexible, Taurus is a creature of habit, and their stubbornness is often tied to their need for stability and control. It can be weird to people who prefer compromise or who are more willing to change course when necessary. However, Taurus sees their stubbornness as a sign of determination, not inflexibility. Once they've decided on something, they trust their judgment and aren't afraid to stick with it, no matter what others think. For Taurus, sticking to their guns is just part of their practical and reliable nature. They believe that persistence pays off. 2. They love comfort. If there's one thing that Taurus absolutely adores, it's comfort. They're drawn to soft blankets, cozy spaces, good food, and anything that makes them feel at ease. For Taurus, life is about indulging in the pleasures that make them feel safe and content. They're not the type to rough it out or enjoy discomfort. Comfort is a priority, and they'll go out of their way to make sure they're surrounded by things that bring them peace. Whether it's a luxurious bath, a comfy chair, or a 5-star meal, Taurus appreciates the finer things in life, especially when it comes to their physical environment. This love for comfort can be weird to those who are less focused on material things or who prefer a more minimalist lifestyle. Some might see Taurus' need for indulgence as unnecessary or even superficial, but to them, it's about creating a safe space where they can recharge and enjoy the simple pleasures. Taurus loves to make sure that they're always in the best conditions possible, and their desire for comfort isn't about being lazy, it's about enjoying life to the fullest and feeling secure in their surroundings. They seek out what makes them feel good, and when they're comfortable, they're at their best. 3. They can be extremely possessive. Taurus loyalty is one of their greatest strengths, but it can also be their Achilles heel when it comes to relationships. Once they're attached to someone or something, they don't want to share it. This possessiveness can come across as a bit much at times. Whether it's a romantic partner, a friend, or even an item they really care about, Taurus has a strong desire to keep what they value all to themselves. While their loyalty is undeniable, this attachment can sometimes cross the line into possessiveness, making others feel suffocated or controlled. Taurus doesn't like to feel threatened by outside forces, and if they sense that someone or something is trying to take what's theirs, they'll become protective. This can feel weird to people who value their independence or who aren't as emotionally invested in every relationship. For Taurus, however, this possessiveness stems from a place of deep care and affection. They want to keep their loved ones close and ensure that no one else can take away what they hold dear. This need for security and exclusivity can make them seem controlling or possessive, but it's all part of their intense loyalty and desire for stability. 4. They have a hard time letting go. Taurus has a strong attachment to the things and people they care about, and once they've invested their time and energy into something, letting go can be incredibly difficult for them. Whether it's an old friendship, a relationship, or even an object they've had for years, Taurus has a hard time parting with what they hold dear. They prefer to keep things stable and familiar, and letting go of anything they've built or cherished goes against their need for security. This trait can be weird to people who are more quick to move on or who see change as an opportunity for growth. While other signs may be more comfortable with endings and new beginnings, Taurus holds on to what they know, sometimes well past the point of it being healthy or necessary. Whether it's staying in a job they hate because it's stable or holding on to a relationship that's no longer serving them, Taurus finds it hard to walk away from something they've committed to. This attachment can cause them to stay in situations that no longer benefit them, but it's part of their unwavering need for consistency. For Taurus, letting go is never easy, and they will hold on until they feel absolutely certain that it's time to move on. They value their emotional investments deeply and don't take change lightly. 5. They're very set in their ways. Taurus is a creature of habit, and they like to stick to routines that make them feel comfortable. They are incredibly set in their ways, whether it's in the way they wake up in the morning, how they handle their finances, or even how they approach their friendships. Once they find a method that works for them, they're unlikely to change it. This set-in-stone nature can sometimes seem weird to others, especially those who enjoy a more flexible or spontaneous lifestyle. For Taurus, routines bring a sense of peace and stability, and they don't like to stray from what they know. They take comfort in familiarity and are hesitant to make changes that might upset their balance. While other signs may embrace change or go with the flow, Taurus prefers predictability and structure. This can make them seem rigid or even stubborn, especially when they resist trying new things or stepping outside of their comfort zone. But for Taurus, it's not about being closed-minded, it's about maintaining the security and order they thrive on. They like knowing what to expect, and they prefer to keep things as consistent and dependable as possible. 6. They can be overly materialistic. Taurus has an undeniable love for luxury and comfort, which can sometimes lead them into the realm of materialism. Their desire for the finer things in life isn't just about showing off, it's about enjoying the fruits of their hard work and indulging in what makes them feel secure and satisfied. Whether it's a designer bag, a beautifully furnished home, or a gourmet meal, Taurus takes great pride in surrounding themselves with quality and elegance. To them, material things are a reflection of their efforts and their commitment to living well. However, this attachment to material possessions can sometimes come across as weird to people who place more value on experiences or minimalist lifestyles. Taurus' need to invest in high-end items or luxury experiences can seem excessive to others who are content with simplicity. Their focus on the physical world often leads them to seek out what feels tangible and lasting, and their pursuit of material comfort can sometimes feel like they are caught up in a cycle of acquiring things for the sake of feeling secure. While this can seem shallow to others, for Taurus, it's more about creating an environment where they can truly relax and feel at ease. Their love for luxury isn't about boasting, it's about creating a sanctuary where they feel they've earned the best. 7. They can be overly protective. Taurus is known for being fiercely protective of their loved ones. Whether it's a romantic partner, a close friend, or a family member, once Taurus cares about someone, they will do anything in their power to keep them safe and comfortable. This protective nature is one of their most endearing qualities, but it can also be seen as a bit weird by those who don't require that level of emotional investment. For Taurus, it's all about creating a sense of security, and they feel that it's their responsibility to safeguard those they love. While this can be reassuring to some, it can also be overwhelming to those who value their independence. Taurus may sometimes go overboard in trying to shield others from harm, whether it's offering unsolicited advice, stepping in during disagreements, or trying to take control of situations that don't directly concern them. This overprotectiveness often comes from a place of love, but it can make others feel smothered or restricted, especially if they don't want that level of involvement. Taurus need to be the caretaker in every relationship, coupled with their natural possessiveness, means they will often take on the role of protector, sometimes without realizing that it can be stifling. Their desire to maintain harmony and keep the people they care about safe sometimes leads to them stepping in where they're not needed, which can be weird for those who are more self-sufficient. 8. They don't like to change. Change is a difficult concept for Taurus. They are creatures of habit who thrive on routine, stability, and the familiar. Whether it's their daily schedule, the way they do their job, or the people they spend time with, Taurus prefers things to stay the same as much as possible. This resistance to change can make them seem weird to people who enjoy new experiences or who embrace flexibility. For Taurus, stability is a sign of security, and any disruption to that balance can feel unsettling or even threatening. They don't enjoy stepping out of their comfort zone, especially when they don't see a clear benefit to doing so. Their reluctance to embrace change isn't because they're unwilling to grow, it's because they believe in taking things slow, considering every angle, and making thoughtful, deliberate decisions. When life starts to feel unpredictable or things shift too quickly, Taurus can become stressed or anxious, wanting to revert to what feels safe and known. This attachment to routines and reluctance to embrace newness can be frustrating for those around them, especially if they prefer to adapt quickly and go with the flow. Taurus' desire for consistency often creates an environment of familiarity, but it also means that they are less likely to take risks or explore uncharted territory, which can be perceived as weird by those who don't understand their need for security. 9. They can be hard to read. Taurus is often considered one of the more enigmatic signs of the zodiac. On the surface, they may seem steady, calm, and approachable, but getting to know what's really going on in their mind can be a challenge. Taurus tends to keep their emotions close to the chest, which makes them hard to read for others. They don't wear their heart on their sleeve, and even when they're feeling overwhelmed or upset, they might choose to bottle up their emotions instead of expressing them openly. This guarded nature can come across as weird to people who are used to more transparent or emotionally open signs. Taurus may not immediately open up to others about their feelings, and this reluctance to share what's on their mind can sometimes leave people wondering what they're really thinking. It's not that Taurus is being secretive out of malice, rather, they value their privacy and don't feel the need to air their emotional laundry for the world to see. This self-contained nature makes them hard to get to know on a deeper level, and they may even give the impression of being indifferent or emotionally distant, when in reality, they're simply being cautious and deliberate about who they trust. Their ability to remain composed, even in emotionally charged situations, is part of their strength, but it can make them seem weird to those who wear their emotions more openly. 10. They're not big on spontaneity. Taurus is not the spontaneous type. If you're the kind of person who loves to pick up and go on a last-minute trip or change your plans on a whim, you might find Taurus' need for planning and structure a bit weird. Taurus prefers to stick to a schedule and feels most comfortable when they can anticipate what's coming next. They don't like surprises, and unplanned events can make them feel anxious or uneasy. This love for routine means they can be reluctant to take risks or jump into something without knowing exactly what they're getting into. While spontaneity can be exciting for some, for Taurus, it feels unsettling. They are much more likely to plan things out in advance, take their time considering their options, and ensure that everything is organized before they make a move. They enjoy having a clear path ahead of them, and uncertainty can cause unnecessary stress. Taurus likes to know what to expect, and any deviation from that plan can be viewed as disruptive. This preference for structure and predictability can be seen as weird by those who thrive on unpredictability and change, but for Taurus, it's all about comfort, security, and feeling in control of their environment. They may not be the life of the party when it comes to impromptu adventures, but their reliable, steady nature makes them excellent planners and dependably trustworthy in the long run. 11. They're hard to surprise. Taurus is not easily surprised, and this is one trait that makes them stand out. They're often pretty good at reading people and situations, and because they prefer to plan everything in advance, surprises, whether big or small, just aren't their thing. Whether it's a last-minute birthday party or a surprise trip, Taurus will often have already figured it out before anyone has the chance to spring it on them. This isn't because they're always snooping around or being overly suspicious, it's more about their attention to detail and their need for stability. They tend to notice little things that others might miss, and because of their steady and methodical nature, it's rare for them to get caught off guard. While some signs thrive on the excitement of surprises, Taurus prefers to stay in control of their environment. For them, predictability is part of what makes life comfortable, and anything that disrupts that can feel unsettling. This need for control can make Taurus seem weird to those who love surprises or who enjoy living in the moment. Taurus doesn't mind the occasional unexpected change, but they like to know what's coming, and they'll often take steps to ensure that they're not blindsided. Their ability to stay composed in the face of surprises might make them seem emotionally distant or closed off, but in reality, it's just their way of maintaining balance and security in a world that feels unpredictable. 12. They're always looking for security. For Taurus, security is everything. Whether it's financial, emotional, or physical, they need to feel grounded and stable at all times. This need for security can be seen in their relationships, work life, and even in their hobbies. Taurus is naturally drawn to environments where they feel safe and supported. They're not the type to take unnecessary risks or dive into situations that could jeopardize their stability. This desire to maintain a secure foundation in their life often means they are careful with their choices, weighing the pros and cons before making any major decisions. To others, this focus on security might seem overly cautious or weird, especially when others are more willing to embrace uncertainty or take a leap of faith. Taurus doesn't enjoy living on the edge and instead prefers the comfort of predictability. While this can make them reliable and steady, it can also make them seem a little too cautious or even reluctant to try new things. They'll always prioritize stability over novelty, which can lead to a more conservative approach to life. Their focus on securing their future often leads to a well-planned, thoughtful existence, but it can sometimes make them appear risk-averse, especially when compared to those who are more spontaneous or open to uncertainty. 13. They can be overly independent. Taurus values their independence above all else, and they prefer to do things on their own terms. They are incredibly self-sufficient, and while they enjoy the company of loved ones, they don't rely on others for emotional or financial support. Taurus believes in standing on their own 2 feet and tends to shy away from situations where they feel like they might need to depend on someone else. This strong sense of independence can sometimes be weird to others, especially those who are more collaborative or who prefer to rely on their partners for support. Taurus tends to solve problems on their own, and they might resist offers of help, even when it's clear that they could use it. They don't want to burden others, and they take pride in being able to handle things by themselves. This can lead to a sense of isolation at times, as Taurus might push people away when they offer assistance, believing that they're better off doing things their way. This deep-rooted desire for independence is part of what makes Taurus so strong, but it can also make them seem distant or unwilling to connect with others on a deeper level. Their independence isn't about rejecting help or rejecting relationships, it's simply about maintaining control over their own life and decisions, ensuring they don't feel vulnerable or dependent on others. 14. They can be emotionally reserved. Taurus can be emotionally reserved, often choosing to keep their feelings to themselves rather than sharing them with others. They don't like to be vulnerable and prefer to maintain a calm, composed exterior, even when they're going through something difficult. This can make them seem weird to people who are more expressive with their emotions or who believe in wearing their hearts on their sleeves. Taurus tends to process their feelings internally, and they might not open up about their struggles unless they absolutely trust the person they're confiding in. They don't want to burden others with their problems, and they prefer to handle things quietly and independently. While some signs might be quick to share their emotions or wear them for everyone to see, Taurus keeps their emotions closely guarded, leading others to believe that they are indifferent or even detached. This emotional reserve can create distance in relationships, as others might struggle to understand what Taurus is really feeling. But for Taurus, it's simply about protecting themselves from emotional chaos and maintaining their inner peace. They believe in showing their affection through actions rather than words, so when they do open up, it's a sign that they truly trust and care for someone. 15. They're always seeking stability. Taurus is constantly in search of stability. They crave a life that is predictable and steady, where they know what to expect from their surroundings, their work, and their relationships. This need for stability can make them seem weird to people who embrace change or who thrive on unpredictability. Taurus, on the other hand, finds comfort in routines and dislikes when things feel too chaotic or uncertain. Whether it's in their career or their personal life, Taurus wants to build something that lasts, and they are willing to work hard to maintain that stability. They value long-term security over short-term excitement, which is why they tend to make careful, thought-out decisions in every area of their life. While others may be more willing to take risks or live in the moment, Taurus prefers to build a solid foundation and take things one step at a time. They don't like surprises or anything that shakes the ground beneath them. For Taurus, the idea of not having a stable future is a major source of stress, and they will do everything in their power to ensure that they have a secure, predictable life. This focus on stability can sometimes make them seem rigid or overly cautious, but for Taurus, it's all about creating a life they can depend on and feel safe in. So, there you have it. The 15 reasons why Taurus can sometimes be seen as weird, but also why they're one of the most intriguing and unique signs in the zodiac. From their stubbornness and love for comfort to their emotional reserve and desire for stability, Taurus definitely marches to the beat of their own drum. While these traits might seem unusual or even frustrating to those who don't share the same approach to life, they are what make Taurus so reliable, loyal, and dependable. At the end of the day, Taurus isn't afraid to be themselves, and they embrace their quirks with pride. Yes, they may not be the most spontaneous, and yes, they may take their sweet time making decisions, but that's all part of the reason why we love them. Their commitment to security, their need for routine, and their passion for the finer things in life make them grounded and incredibly dedicated. So, whether you find these traits weird or endearing, there's no denying that Taurus brings something special to the table. If you're a Taurus, did you see yourself in any of these reasons? Or if you know a Taurus, which of these quirks stood out to you the most? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let's chat about all things Taurus. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on more zodiac insights and fun content. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's our quirks and unique traits that make us who we are. Embrace your Taurus energy, and keep being unapologetically yourself.